This is Chaz Horn. Why is it important to know what open-ended questions to ask your customers and why? Because it can make the difference between having sales that go up with your customers and losing your customers altogether. Let me explain. In the first 6 months of 2017, Gallup did a survey. Now, this is with B2B customers, and they found that only 29% of those B2B customers were engaged. Now, why is that important? Because the customers who are engaged and engaged in the right way, their sales were up 50% over other customers. And the longevity of those customers was much longer. Think about this 71% of B2B customers are not engaged. And so they're susceptible to going to someone else. Now, the way that you go to your customers and ask good open-ended questions, and again, it's two things here. The open-ended questions you ask and how you ask them. All right? And first and foremost, here's what you need to ask if you're trying to get some idea on how the service is you're providing. How good the service is that you're providing them. If I could talk. You have to go with a servant's heart with the right intention. And if you don't do it this way, you're going to come across as fake, and they're going to be able to see it and hear it in your tone. So what you need to do first and foremost is have a conversation and just be real with them and say, today I wanted to find out three things. I want to find out the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? If they laugh at that, tell them you're dead serious, because if there's some things that happened that I don't know about, I can't correct them. So if you could please be open on those three things, I really appreciate it. And you do that, being sincere, it's amazing the information that you find out. And be prepared, because you may find out information that you don't want to hear. But the cool thing is, when you find that information out, you can make changes and you can build a rock solid customer relationship. Okay? So after you get their permission to ask questions and find out the good, bad, and the ugly, this is where you start. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being terrible, 5 being perfect, how would you rate our service to you? Or is there something within the last couple months or last week? I know we had an order come through. How would you rate the process of the order coming through to you on a scale of 1 to 5? And then shut up, seriously, and listen. Listen intently, because there is some vital information that they can share with you. And if they're hesitant, if there's an awkward silence, just be quiet and listen. If you don't, again, I'm being redundant on purpose. Okay? And the reason I'm doing this is below I have a master class. Within the master class, I talk about this, and I use a case study with one of my clients who used this. They had an awkward silence, and because of that awkward silence, they found out some vital information, which led to an opportunity that they didn't know about if they didn't use this strategy in meeting with their customer to finding out the good, bad, and the ugly. By the way, they went from $40,000 a year to 1.5 million. All right, so click the link below for the case study after this video, of course. So ask the question, how would you rate us on a scale of 1 to 5? And if they say 3 or 2 or something, be ready to hear some things you don't want to hear. Again, if you hear that, you can make changes. If there's some information and you don't hear that, then you can't make changes. And if they give you a good score, 4 or a 5, find out about that. John, can you tell me a little bit more about why you rated us a 4 out of 5? And tell them if they know it, like maybe there's a personal story that happened with one of your recent orders or with a communication with our office, and let them talk about it. And ultimately, what you want to find out is how your company, your products and services, your solution is ultimately affecting them. Your connection, but not just your connection, but additional people within the company. So go with good open-ended questions. Be quiet after you ask the questions, and you'll be amazed with the information that you find out. And if you use this correctly, not only will you have rock solid customer relationships, you're going to it's naturally going to lead to upsells and cross sells. Cool? All right. Go rock this day.